Getting to know you. Okay, so this is my song, my tune with the high priest Aaron. I'm getting to know Aaron. And actually, Aaron has really guided me to read Numbers, the book of Numbers in the Bible, which is the fourth book. I think it's the fourth book, and I'm going to double check because it is so important now to let's see, it's the fourth book of the Bible. Now this is what Aaron really wants me to make mention of, and it's like really trying to show me the correlations of numbers, like it's the fourth book and they were meant to last 40 days, going by the spies who had gone to check out whether the land was good, whether it was fruitful, that is the land of Canaan. And I'm talking about the children of Israel from Egypt to Canaan, in case you are not familiar with the story. But it was about God really saying, let my children go, really wanting to release the children of Israel so they could worship him, God, in a new land, in a new way. He had promised, I think that was the land promised to their forefathers, Abraham. Now, the main thing of this these stories, or if you like, or the presentation, is first to really get the numerical values and the vibrations and how it really matches our world today, so we can know how to maneuver ourselves. So and that's what, according to Erin, that's what's most important right now, and of course I'm totally in agreement with that. So, of course, this is why we have Aaron as 2020. So, I was walking down the road, and Aaron and I having this chat, and I'm saying, well, I would really like to understand you a little bit more, and, about building relationships, because I'm feeling a little bit like phony, if you like, that I'm introducing you to the world, and I'm not even quite sure that I know you that well enough and to feel comfortable, and because I'm putting this information out there, and it's saying, they will understand that in all relationships it's a process, and it's important for them to understand that the process you are going through is really how everything is, and they will grow as you grow, and so on. So I'm saying, okay, all right, maybe it's like like it says, don't worry, just a day at a time. So talking about day at a time, as soon as he said day at a time, I looked on the ground, and there was a number just looking at me, and I'm thinking, well, what's all this about, this 365? And he's saying, well, numbers are everywhere. And I'm saying, okay, I know, but 365, what are you telling me about 365? He says, well, work it out. So anyway, I of course, with many thoughts in my mind, I sort of walked off and didn't give it much more thought than, okay, it is the number of the days of the year. So I thought, okay, so there's Aaron. Oh wow. So there's Aaron saying, you haven't announced that you were ready to dig in deep once more. And there's the fork. And that's the thing I really appreciative of his presence right now. So he's saying, no, I want you to remember to welcome. It's like I have to do this introduction as well. So let's welcome the presence of Aaron, the high priest, and welcome the presence of the 14 gods that we are the embodiment of. So again, we are doing this calling of the gods, and it's the created God, the cause God, the called God, and the moved God, meaning the God of movement. So I'm going to start again and really introduce them in a way that is more understandable. So it's the God of calling, the God of causation, and the God of creation, the God of movement and the God of makings, the God of sayings, the God of settings, like setting the table for us right now, and the God of soaring, the God who soars things like this, and he also has the sight, of course. And the God of endings and the God of divisions, the God of planting and the God of formation, the God of blessings and the God of breath. That's it, the 14 gods. Now, he's reminding us as well that we need to take time to acknowledge the gods in all of us, in however that they, whichever way that they play out in us. And of course, the gods are saying, didn't you know that? Isn't it time that you really stood and pay attention and recognize our presence in your everyday life and everyday movement? Would you breathe? The God of breath is saying, would you breathe without me? And the God of blessings is saying, would you be able to contain me if I didn't know how much you to live of being less and of course to increase? The God of formation is saying, how would you have any parameter around you to know what form or shape something is taking? The God of planting is saying, how would you know about planting something, whether it was food or planting your words or planting your again parameter is saying, oh, you're planting your rod or planting your stick in the ground. I like that terminology, the stick in the ground. The God of endings is saying as well, how would you know there is an end and there is a beginning if I did not exist? And the God of movement is saying, everything is movement. The God of movement is saying, remember, the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the deep, meaning everything relies on movement for it to have to evolve or growth or recognize. Nothing is still. Everything has movement. Even the rock, there is movement in the rock. Okay, and the God of making is saying, of course, this is where he, of course, the God of makings is like you make your mark, you put your stamp, you have your flag. All these are makings. Whether you made food, whether you made a dish, that's the God of makings. The God of creation, of course, is everything is created when it is created. And the God of created says, take this as an exercise, just as the God of breath as well. Take this as an exercise. Go and find out all the names that you can create from the word create, that you can make from the word created. So like art, heart, heat, rate, tear, and all those words, for instance. And he says, there you will understand I am in the midst of everything. So the God of soaring, of course, the God of soaring is saying, this is why you are able, you've got two eyes and you are able to decipher, you are able to see with your physical eye and you with your spiritual eye. He's also saying, I am able to saw things. I am seven. He's saying, I sever. I am not just seven, I sever things away. So the God of settings, of course, is saying, this is it's like now we have set the environment and everything to have this recording. So it's a set. It's like a movie set. Everything is, the God of settings is saying everything is like a set. Everything is settings. And the God of blessings have spoken. The God of division, of course, is the God of division is right here. And Erin just said, you really should have been pointing all this out and really, instead of just saying, he keeps telling me, show, Erin, please be patient with me. Okay, so we had the God of creation and the God of movement, and the God of saying, of course, is the God of words, which is in the beginning when God said, or the said God again, is like, let there be light. So this is the God of sayings right there. And that's the third entry, and of course the first letter has a numerical vibration of 3. So we have covered the God of division, and the God of division is saying, can't you see right now everything is division? And he says it's up to you if you want to do long division or short division, but you have to really work through me right now. So basically he's saying this is where you have to declutter. This is where and it's the God of division is really saying as well, this is not just about decluttering the mind. He points to the mind. Okay, and the God of settings. So we have really gone through all the gods here, and the God of causation is the last God that we had to mention. And of course, everything it's like cause and effect. And this is where the God of causation comes in. So we have introduced the God, and we want to make these videos no longer than 30 minutes. So Erin, you're going to need to help me here right now because I know I can go on, but I also want to understand how we're going to make sense of the things that are necessary for our evolution on this, he calls it an exodus. Okay, so on this exodus. So we are really going into Canaan. So basically, Aaron is saying in this 2020, and he's saying, and the years, he's really saying in the next, for the next 7 years, hey, so 20 and to 27 as well. This is a crucial, real crucial time. It's like who's going to really arrive in the land. And he says somehow are already in Canaan, but the journey, the pilgrimage is really, that is a 7-year journey right now. So I'm wondering, okay, but okay, so Aaron, but it was 40 days for the children of Israel. So he's saying, well, some people have done the 40 days, but he's saying that the spectrum of all what there is required is seven years. And he's saying, well, there may be another 7 years after this, because it is that going to be that long, depending how quickly some people learn. So he's saying we may well really have to be patient with people for the next 14 years. It does sound long. So okay, so we are looking at on a spectrum of 40 days to what? 14 years. Okay, so we'll have to work this out. I don't quite know exactly how, but Aaron's going to give us the enlightenment on that. So Aaron is really telling me to go back to his name. Okay, I'm just looking at something popped up on the screen. So back to his name is 965, and we add this together. This is 22. So we've seen 22, adding this together would be 4. So Aaron is also saying, yeah, you have 2 twos, and he's saying, but what did I say to you? It's like he's saying, what did I say to you about the number 2? He's saying foundation. This is what he's saying. This year is about building foundation. So it's the year 2020. So it's like building foundation, and for the 2 sets of creation, just as it were in Genesis. This is what he's saying. Just as it were in Genesis, that there were 2 sets of creation. You have the God of creation, if you like, and the God of making. There were the 2 main gods in this Genesis, in the Genesis, of course. And Genesis, of course, was 33. 3 plus 3 is 6. So it's two sets of gods here. And no wonder as well he's saying that when Mother Eve says let there be light, there basically the numerical value which came to 12 actually represents the 2 sets of creation. So Mother Eve is that which encompasses all of both of the sets of creation. Mother Eve, or Eve, is that which existed before anything or any event takes place. So basically 2 twos here is representing, of course, it's 4, and this is the foundation of creation. Okay, okay, I get that. So so I said to him, okay, give me another example of this, the meaning of 4 here as well. He's saying, well, yes, this the 2 foundations, of course, that comes to 4. And it's like 2020 comes to 4. But he's also saying that when you, the 4 words Mother Eve said, let there be light, he's also telling me this is 4. And he's saying that is corresponding to the foundations that he's been talking about. So, and now he's telling me to do the word foundation. Okay, Foundation. But I've done this before, Aaron. And he says, okay, well, still do it again. Show, because you need to show. Okay. All right. I'm going to show. So it's 6, 6, 3, 5, 4, 1, 2, 9, 6, 5. Adding this together, this is 20. This is 27. This is for 27, 30, 41, 47. So 47 is, so it's just telling me as well to really get the idea of 47 here. So basically it's 4 and 7, 4 and 7, and this is the development and the journey. So basically that's what he's asking me to look at. But in the middle of all this, adding this together is 11. And it's saying, of course, when we do the numerical value for the word 11, it gives us 9. And 9 gives us 6 back to the creation. Okay, so I get that. So this is why Erin is really getting us to look at how the foundation really, it's like the process to the foundation has happened here. And there is 47, meaning that it's like the 4, which is 2 sets of creation, and they were 7 days each. So this is how it is showing, is revealing it to us. And of course, this is the 11 is, or the number 11 here is representing the being centered, just as adding 5 plus 6 here, and this is a new thing. So he's saying this is how this foundation of creation is really doing a new thing of having 11 right here, and your 5 and 6 will be that 11, just as Jesus. He says, yes, I remember, just as Jesus, because, and he says that's why Christians tell you when you are in Jesus or when you are in Christ, you are a new creature. So this is Jesus. So it's 1, 5, 1, 3, 1. Adding this together is 11. 8, 9, 10, 11. And he also says, of course, 1 plus 1 is 2. So this is why we need to revert back to the correlation of 22, which also is attached to his name. So Erin is really reminding me, saying, go and tell them as well. This is why I was Moses' mouthpiece, to be that foundation for the children of Israel. Okay, so also I have been asking Erin as well. Yeah, I do understand being the mouthpiece. I do understand being 22, but there's something else I still want to understand. 22, because Mother Eve is the mouth and is 5, and we see why you represented the mouth. We saw it in the scriptures, and this is why we are reminded about the mouth in this 2020 as well. So the stories correlate very well. I can see that. But what about the numerical value? Because 4 and 5 are 2 different numbers, because you are 2 and Mother Eve in this sense actually is 5 as mouth. So then he says to me, okay. And I see what he's saying, because and he says, well, how about doing this doing it in word form, because you have both the tools to use. So it's like 4, Four, and 5, Five. So okay, I feel I'm getting what you're saying, Erin. So it's like 6, 6, 3, 3, 9. Okay, and there he's saying, you see how that 639 is here, 639, and we have, of course, here we have 396. Erin is also reminding me here that it's so important for us to include other people. It's like the hour, when we say our home, our love, our this or whatever. He says when you do this, you are actually tapping into the sacred vibration. Okay, I love that. And it says, okay, there's another thing that is very important to note here as well. Look at here. He's saying this is 9, 9, 18. This is 24. So, and he's saying adding this together is also 24. So both, basically this is 6. So again, he's saying this is the 2 foundations that I'm talking about. There are 2 foundations. The number 2, of course, is foundation. Doing the word foundation is actually 1 plus 1 is 2. And we had the 4, so it's 2 creations. and just in the direct correspondence as Aaron as well. So Aaron is also saying, well, can you see that when people are talking about 4 and 5, in this sense, there are different layers to understanding the creation, and we had been feeding ourselves on the kindergarten intelligence that had been given to us, and it's time for us to grow to understand that the numerical values are giving us a better message that is appropriate for where we are right now. So we don't need to be regurgitating the old foods that we have been eating. Now we need to be eating something different. And yeah, he's saying take that. Okay, and so another thing Aaron is also reminding me of as well. He says, how many letters here? I said, well, 4 letters. He's saying, well, that's foundation. 4 is foundation, and he's also saying, but 5 is also foundation. So why is saying 5 is also foundation? Because 5 is actually in the middle of the numbers 1 to 9, which is the whole cycle. Now he's also saying there is a cycle in number 4. When you add numbers 1 to 4, it gives is 10, and saying that there is a cycle in there. So this is why he's saying there are cycles on top of cycles for us to understand. Okay, so another thing Aaron is saying, because of course going back to the 365 days he was pointing out to me, I thought, well, yes, it's like he's reminding me 365. So I said, okay, 365, and of course adding this together, and now I do understand it's 14. So this is what is Aaron is saying. The number 14 should be really paid close attention to this year 2020, and not only this year 2020. He's saying for the next 7 years this number needs to be like a foundation, just as you have seen, like it comes to 24 and 20, like 24 hours of the day, or 24 well, I don't clearly remember. Aaron, you need to help me remember what you keep saying. He says, remember what 24 hours, what 24 is. Okay, so 24 hours of the day. And so he's saying that, well, because there are 2 sets of creation, so there's 12 years, 12 months, and another 12 months. So these 2 years for 2020, and he's saying to 2022 is going to be very crucial for planting, for really planting ideas, for planting our minds, for really grounding ourselves in this new exodus. So I'm getting that. And so it's also, there's 2020 on the clock, 2022, 2020. Okay, so he's also saying, so Aaron is also saying that, he's saying, well, you have read the verse he's saying. I said, well, yes, I read the verse he's saying is 14, Genesis chapter 1:14, because this is where all the lettings were for creation. I said, okay, well, let's just go for it again. And of course, so basically it's the first 14 that appears in the Bible, and it's not the first 14, but it's because the first word of the Bible equals 14, which is also 2 letters. So again, he's showing us that already the symbol of 2 sets of creation was right there in the first word of the Bible, which is 14. So which is in. He keeps saying, show it. Okay, so the word in. So he says the word in, which is 9 and 5. And he says, of course, we have done a lot of that, because this is beginning and this is end. And of course, adding this together is 14. But 1 plus 4 is 5. And that is Eve, E-V-E. And this is why he reminds me now, Mother Eve is actually 5. And when we do F-I, sorry, okay, this is 4. This is 5. Aaron, I'm getting so much information here, so I'm trying to, okay, so this is 14. And again, he's saying, when you write the number 5, or word 5, you could really pronounce this as Eve, IVE. Is you could really say it's also Eve, and it's actually, yeah. So basically saying if you were to do that, you would have the number 9, but Eve is actually in this. He's also Erin is also reminded. Okay, Erin is also reminding me that the said God actually equals 26, actually equals 6. So the said God, when we do the numerical value for the said God, the God of sayings, the God of words, and the even word as well equals 6. So, okay, Erin is saying we'll have to do a part 2 on this because we don't want to make it much longer. So we'll have to do part 2. The said God, which also comes here into this equation, so is 1194, and already is saying, okay, this is where you stand in the middle, you become grounded. This is the cycle that you have to complete here. Open your third eye, and this is the foundation and the development that you have to do. And he also says that to make sure that people are aware as well that the same way this coronavirus is happening right now, in fact, the word coronavirus or the word COVID-19, there is much more to it. He says there is much more to it, just like the people have used the said God to spread a virus, which they have called AIDS. They have used it as an acronym and to call it AIDS. That's the said God. They've taken the S and put it at the end, and this is it. So he says this is all the this is what Erin is saying. I'm glad to hear this as well. Erin is really saying this is all the ways that people have used to manipulate a relationship with the divine feminine that you do not really get to understand and build a strong relationship with the divine feminine, or with the female aspect of our being. So he's saying all these things carry a feminine connotation or attachment that makes you really don't want to know your mother or the divine feminine, or to have a disassociation with her, a disconnect. So basically, Erin is really saying we need to get over that fear and really ride that wave by raising our vibration, by activating our kundalini, by going into meditation, and to really understand that we are on a new journey and we need to be fit enough for that new journey. So I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope you have found this fun. I hope you have found this palatable, and do like and subscribe, and of course share. And always remember to stay ignited.